I forgot. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Comics. I'm your host Sean Fuller, and tonight we're joined by the powerhouse creator who takes the indie comic system by storm right now, and that's Sarah White, the mind behind Power Brokers. If you ever wonder what it would be like to live in a world where anyone could buy superpowers for the right price, then this is a series one should definitely need to get to know. We'll dive into how Paul Burgers came to life, the creative team at Defiant Articles Creative, and what it takes to build the momentum as an indie comic publisher. So if you don't mind, let's get right in and get to know Sarah. So Sarah, welcome to Behind the Comics. To kick things off, can you tell us a little about your background and how you got into comics? How you started off?
Sure. So I'm the founder of Definite Article, and we've only been around for about a year now. I started out as I kind of got thrown into it when a friend asked me if I knew how to letter, and I had never really done comics. This is 12-ish years ago, 15 maybe. And I got just randomly asked. Their letterer just went missing, and they asked me if I had any experience doing that, and because I was already a graphic designer, and I said, how hard could it be? and turns out it can be very hard. But yeah, so like I didn't really have any comics background before that, and then I jumped into it, and I just really love comics now. So I stuck around, and that was
So a friend.
that was 11 years ago. At least.
Wow, that was like 2005-ish, 2006,
2012.
12, sorry.
13 or 14, yeah. Not quite.
I graduated college.
Yeah.
They got you on early. They're like, we need help, and we can't afford no one else.
Yeah, kind of, because they don't. Not a lot of money, Anybody who tells you that comics creation is a lucrative job is lying to you. You don't get into this to make money.
Marvel has so many different characters. So what inspired you to start your own story instead of just reading, collecting them?
Well, there was the seeing the behind the scenes stuff really made me think that it was something that was possible for me to do. Like hadn't put a lot of thought into it before that. So seeing it all come together from behind the curtain makes you really think, oh, I can figure this out. I know how to do it too. And I started out by helping other people build their comics, and then I have recently dove into making my own now too. So obviously not alone, but
that's for everyone that's actually doing this for real, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the question comes like, so where did you grow up then? Because you said you didn't get started for since 2012. So did you grow? So you didn't grow up into like a major city or something like that? Or
no, I grew up on a farm in Wisconsin.
A farm? Oh, Lord.
Farm. Like I had to get up at 5:00 in the morning and go feed the calves and then milk the cows. Like I had like a legit farm. Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys. Hey, I'm just saying, even farm girls get into this thing. So that means, so coming back from that background, what did your interpretation of when you, because you said you got into graphics design, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you came from the background as a farmer, and someone that's actually looking into it, so it's kind of funny you brought it up. So it's like, coming from that background, what made that person that grew up in that lifestyle decided, I want to go to graphic design?
Oh, I don't think I had a real strong plan in mind when I did that. The local college offered a brand new program, and it looked like fun. And I'd always been into art. Like I've always been big into drawing and building stuff. As a kid, I was always building and finding like making things out of junk a lot. I would find junk and then I would turn it into other stuff, and I would draw and color a lot. So I when that program showed up at that local college, I was like, okay, I can do this. And
Okay.
so I took the college course, and then so I've got a degree in graphic and web design. And excuse
Hey,
me, yeah,
I'm computer science here. Okay, so coding is my life.
there you go. Coding is, yeah. Well, I don't want to call myself a coder. I know HTML, and that's and like HTML and CSS and maybe a little bit of JavaScript. I'm not really
He's
like
like,
a
I don't
legit
do stuff
coder.
look pretty. Okay.
Yes, I know how to make it look okay. But even then, like the code, the rules change so fast and so often, it's hard to keep up.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what happens, especially as a coder. It's literally every time a new platform launches, it's trying to solve a specific niche problem,
Uh-huh.
and every time that happens, the old program says we need to fix that too, and then everything changes in like 6 to 9 month cycles.
Uh-huh.
So it becomes an issue of like de- depending on your what I call it your influence. I call it your zip code for the sake of argument. Depending on
Mm-hmm.
your zip code, that is that a short hair?
No. He's a big
Okay,
fluffy boy.
okay. So depends on your spirit influence. Depends on how hard you go into either new technology
Mm-hmm.
or maintain old technology. For example, I do government stuff, federal government
Uh-huh.
stuff. So I'm more of the mainstream legacies that have been working for a long time
Uh-huh.
programming language versus the new stuff that pulls up in Silicon Valley every 6 months.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I kind of prefer the older stuff because it's tried and true. Like it works. It's
You know it
older
works.
and
You
it's
did the
slower
course
maybe, but
for it.
yeah.
You ain't go. It's like the worst case scenario. You just go to a conference and learn something new.
Exactly.
So that explains your background in terms of creativity and kind of stuff, and then you got thrown into this entire scene called the graphic comic book arena.
Yep.
Which I'm going to thank your friend for being smart to throw you in this right now.
What's that?
I was going to say I'm going to throw your friend in the in shout out to your friend that was smart enough to throw you into the comic scene. And
Oh yeah. Yeah. It turned out to be a really quite well, I guess it's in the realm of graphic design. So it's not like I did a sharp turn in career choices or anything, but yeah, it's certainly not ever anywhere I thought I would be.
I
I
would I would definitely say the value of saying yes to other opportunity. It's real.
Yeah. Yeah, it started off I was just helping a friend out, and it turned into a whole thing for the past decade plus.
Okay, okay. So, what would you say were there any early influence in your life, like comic film creators that shaped your creative style or storytelling voice right now?
Well, I was a big I was born in the era of Saturday morning cartoons, so I saw a lot of those, and of course, it had Spider-Man and well, there was actually a lot of superhero ones that I can't remember all of them, but there was superhero Spider-Man, Justice League, and that's
You
it.
keep it PG. I
Yeah,
would have thought Thundercats, even.
Thundercats. Yeah, I remember Thundercats. I mean, and I remember loving Freakazoid, which I guess he's not an official superhero, but like I loved Freakazoid. He
No,
was
well,
so
Freakazoid
crazy.
was yeah, it was. He's a character in himself.
He wouldn't really be called a hero either. Maybe an anti-hero. Like he was a good guy, but he was a chaotic good guy.
Exactly, like Mr. Mask. Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to switch gears real quick. So we're going to talk about Power Brokers. So those that are new to the series, what's the core premise behind Power Brokers, and what makes you stand out from other superheroes worlds?
Okay, so Power Broker is a world where like people are not born with these superpowers. They can go to a power brokerage and buy superpowers. And of course, it's expensive to buy, it's expensive to maintain because those companies got to get their money, right? And some of those people that don't have the money but they really want those superpowers, they go to what is called a chop shop, and they will get some cut rate powers, and sometimes it doesn't always work out great for them. And there's a whole, we'll call it like a police force, policing specifically superpowered people.
Sounds like a
And
My Hero Academia lifestyle already.
kind of, yeah, I guess a little, yeah. Like, there, people in My Hero Academia are born with their quirks, but except for Deku, I guess he wasn't born with his quirk, was he? But yeah, it's sort of like, yeah, it's kind of like that. And there's this the power brokers are the force behind. They're the ones that kind of police the superheroes, the superpowered stuff. If somebody goes to a power jacker is the is like the cut rate
Guy.
where they go and get their half price stuff that's maybe not good quality, and sometimes that'll fry their brains as well as make their bodies go crazy, and they go and do bad stuff, and then the power brokers come, they revoke their powers, they put a belt on them to revoke their powers, they aren't supposed to ever get them back once they get their powers revoked, but some of them do for reasons that you find out if you read the book.
Oh, that's so interesting. And the way I'm looking at it is like, first of all, it's like the companies that do this are policing themselves. So is that Wall Street.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, so what happens, like, we haven't gotten to the question yet, but, it's something that you should keep in mind for a future issue, is that what happens if a power broker kind of goes off the deep end and needs to be brought back in,
Yeah, exactly. It's a very interesting telltale, right? It's kind of like I can see the real world implementation of this, and it's kind of funny. So, the tagline says, "A world where anyone can be a superhero for a price." How did you come up with the concept for come up about that? And what themes were you exploring through it?
Well, that was definitely not me. That was the creator, Todd Vecino. He actually created this years ago, long before he and I had ever met, and he had it with a different publisher, and then he came to me, and it's been working out so far. We've been working well together. So, but he, yeah, gosh, it's too bad he couldn't come and talk with us too, because he would have been able to answer that question much better than I can, because he's got quite the way with words when it comes to writing. He's very good.
Okay.
And yeah, so this is all his baby, and I'm just like, hey, I'll help you publish it.
Okay, that's cool. And the funny thing about it is, I know a lot of people that are going to the publishing route, especially when you kind of figure out a process and you know to deliver on something design, you can then become the publishing house, or I call it a creative house.
Yep.
And stuff. And then the next problem is, how do you get from that point to the monetization, which is always the next question that always follows. Like, finally, I got it out in the world. Now, how do I make money with it?
Yeah, if anybody ever figures that out, let me know, okay?
I'm working on that. Don't even start with me, okay?
Yeah, like, well, I mean, there's the one way that I know that you can make a little more money is if you put sexy stuff in your comics. But if you don't want to do that, which, to be fair, okay, so like, full disclosure, I have some titles that have some sexual content in there too, but not Power Broker.
Hey, I'll be first to say, fan service and clickbait was a Japanese for a long time, and it works really well. But I was gonna, but what I realized when I've been exploring this process, because I've been talking to a few people on this process, is there's literally like three main branches of this thing, right? There's crowdfunding, there's online sales, and then there's comic-cons, right?
Yep.
And when you tie all three together in a very specific sequence, you kind of get a working model that's profitable. And so
saying profitable is a little bit like, it's self-sustaining if you do it right, but you have to really put a lot of volume out. Like, there's a couple of creators that I know, they have dozens of titles over the years, and like, they're finally profitable. It's a trick. It's a trick to get really profitable. But I'm happy if my books can sustain themselves.
All right, we'll get into that in a later conversation, because I like to talk about the business of shop, and it's like, there's a truth to the madness, right? but we're not at that section yet. So now that we're at issue number 6, how has the story evolved from the first issue, both narratively and visually?
Oh, well, so the narratively, like, issue 1, as with any series, was a lot of world building.
Mm-hmm.
And then issue 2, we start seeing like who we really start to meet the good guys and the bad guys. And issue 3, issue 3, we meet some more of the, like, that we learn about the process of the power brokerage and like the behind the scenes of these big power broker companies,
Mm.
specifically one power brokering company. And there's this fight that's going to happen, or that's happen. Like, if you read up to the end of issue 5, you saw it brewing, and we don't quite know why yet. There's still questions. There's still questions, but there's a lot of action in issue 6 that's going to resolve a lot of stuff. It's yeah, I don't want to spoil stuff. It's hard to do this without spoiling stuff.
Anything, because it's kind of like you're bringing up everyone to the story, right?
Yeah, and if you like, just so that you know, like, if you go to the to the Kickstarter, there is you can read issue 1 for free, so it's right up there, and so like you can all decide for yourself if this is something that you want to keep reading or not.
No, listen, everyone. I always say, if a good story, good visuals always get good audiences. It just comes down to find, and you find that out very fun, very interestingly, when you do stuff in the real world, like going to Comic Cons, versus if you do it online. Because if you're going through the Facebook algorithm, it's like they're trying to find your audience, and you have to pay them to do it.
Yep. They don't even show it to the people who are actually following you too.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
horrible.
And it takes, and the way someone said is like, it takes your budget dictates your speed, right? If you want to do $5 a week, you can do $5 a week. Don't take you 6 months, but you get there.
Yep.
If you had 20 grand, you can get it done in a week. So it's kind of like,
who has 20 grand just to throw into ads?
Hey, there are guys, there are teams, and there
definitely are.
There are some people that do, and I've learned
Not
to be
me,
like,
though.
respect their hustle. They respect their hustle. Find their audience, and then when they find their audience, they're just like, ha.
Yep.
All right, so now we're going to switch section, because now we're going to talk about what you're good at, because you said you're part of the creative process. So now we're going to talk about the creative process and the challenges that comes with this, because every new comic has its own little thing. So first of all, walk us through your creative process. How do you go from concept to complete issue?
Ooh, well, concept to complete issue. So I have I don't know if I would call it a process, but I write down every single idea that I have for a particular title. Just any little situations that I want my characters to get into, any parts of a story arc that I find, I write it all down, and then when I actually sit down to actually write the issue, the script for the issue, I will I try to sit down and like do it all in one shot, and then I'll take all my ideas and try to first, before I start writing, I'll take all those ideas that I wrote down and I'll try to organize them into some cohesive manner or cohesive story, and then fill in the blanks as I write. So it's probably the completely wrong way to be writing, but it works for me. And so that's how, and then I'll sit down and I'll write the majority of it in like a half a day or something, because I sort of got all these other ideas that I'll write them down when I think of them over the course of however, 6 months, a year, whatever. And then I have them and I'll go through them and I'll pick out some parts that I want and then use that to actually write the script, which then takes, several hours. But it takes longer than that to do, but like the build up. But then when I actually sit down to write, it doesn't take that long.
Okay, so you have so let me help customize it. So first of all, you have your brainstorming sessions where you just take a pen to the wall and just hit it.
Yep, it's just a mess.
Hey, that's what that session is for. It's like everything needs to be somewhere, and then you kind of break it down into an outline, and then you create a script. So do you? Because I know you have a graphic background, right? Are you
Hmm.
like the person drawing it and do the illustrations on it and the coloring, or you have someone else doing it?
I
What's your
have done that on some small issues, but I am extremely slow drawer. So
okay?
I've done a couple of short stories that
Mhm.
takes a long time for me to do it. So for the most part, for the longer comics, I will hire somebody to help me.
Okay.
And yeah, like Todd, I don't know what Todd's creative process is, but he hired John Kutzer to do the art for Power Broker, and then I hired Val Sanites to do the art for Noctiluca. We had Kelson Steele did Granica, like and I like to find an artist that is easy for us to work with, like me and whoever else might be working on it. Because like Granica, for example, is a title that I co-wrote with a friend.
Mhm.
He wrote a radio play, and then I helped him adapt that into a script.
Got it.
And then he wrote,
Radio plays. Wow.
yeah. He's I mean, I guess quirky kind of sounds negative, but he's not. He's got so many ideas and he loves to explore different media to
Mhm.
put the ideas out there. So he's done a lot of really cool stuff and he's very good at it.
No, that's the fun thing I'm seeing right now when obviously having this conversation is that you're plugged into different creative processes with different people.
Mhm.
And I remember and everyone, and then what that allows you to say is like, I am on each of these comics in some way because I'm a contributor at some point with
Mhm.
these comics. And that's a great way to move because you get exposure a lot more with that. So anyway, I said anyway you get in, you fit in, that's what because of where it goes, right?
Mhm.
So
I'm pretty adaptable too. Like I can like for Power Broker, I didn't really do anything with the book itself. I'm more putting the pages together into the issue the file that goes to the printer. I
mhm.
help to dress the covers. I'm doing some of the extra like there's a extra page
The entire
still
publication
like
part.
yeah, like I'm doing the back end, the boring stuff on the back end. None of it's
It's
really
boring,
that boring
yes.
to me, but like it's the part that's the least celebrated. Like the artist and the writer, the
Mhm.
letter, they all get their names on the front cover.
But the
But
person gotta make sure it gets through the printer.
yeah, but I'm gonna my name goes inside the cover, but
Mm,
it but you know, I still like it's still a fun part of the process. It's really cool. Even those end bits that don't seem like they'd be that exciting. It's really cool to watch the whole thing come together.
as someone that put together my first comic, and I enjoyed it because it's a webtoon, and I just did the entire first season, and we're doing the second season now. It was it the first time you ever go to print and the process you ever go through for that, you'd be like, oh my god, this is hard. I'm
Mhm.
glad it's done.
Mhm. And then you're like, "Okay, now let's do it again."
Yeah. Woo! It is. I feel it.
Mhm.
And it's kind of good, and it's kind of always a good thing if you can have a cohesive team too, because it's
Mhm.
like
It's
if
that's a
we
must. You have to be able to work well with your team.
guys, a good team is worth its weight in gold. Okay.
Absolutely. 100% agreed.
So, for the tone and pace of Power Brokers, right? It feels cinematic. So, do you consciously plan it that way, or does it develop naturally as a writer? I know you're not the writer, so it's kind of like,
No,
how,
I've talked to Todd a lot about it. Like he'll have these bursts of creativity where he know and he's developed this story and he knows where it's going to go. Like
Mhm.
I only know to issue 7 where it's going to go. So I'm only one issue ahead of you guys. And
Okay.
but like he knows where the whole thing is gonna go to eventually, and he'll have these bursts where he'll sit down and he'll just go crazy writing, and then like so right now I might only be one issue ahead, but like the next thing I know, he'll probably have the next 5 scripts ready for me.
Mm,
And
it sounds like me. It sounds like me. It's like
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
be like I'll be like you working on what chapter 20 and I have chapter 25 done.
yeah, yeah.
It's like
All right, you have to get down.
so. All right, cool. So that kind of gives us the next section. We're going to do first thing. First of all, have to pay some bills. So we're going to transition a little bit to our commercial break, and then after that, we're going to go into the section 4. We talk about the fundraiser that you're kind of doing with Power Broker, as well as future projects in the community. Is that okay? All right,
Yeah,
cool.
let's do it.
All right, let's do it, guys. All right, goose. If you've been here before, all right, let me switch off. If you guys been here before,
Video is sponsored by mycomic.ai, the first of its kind platform built to solve real struggles comic creators like us face. If you've ever felt stuck trying to make consistent sales from your work, this is your solution. MyComic.ai helps you turn your comic into a real business and grow it into a full-time income stream. Check it out today at mycomic.ai.
oh wait. Need to get back. All right, thank you guys. We always put paying bills over here, um, so that actually brings us back into transition us back into the second section, which is fundraising, right? Because that's a part of paying bills.
Indeed.
And so for each and everyone here, you're currently doing Power Broker Issue 6 is currently on Kickstarter.
Right.
How has your experience been with the crowdfunding so far? And actually, tell me how you feel about using Kickstarter and any other crowdfunding platform when it comes to your comics.
Well, kind of when I started Definite Article, I kind of started from scratch. So I'm finding it right now. I'm at that really crappy building the audience back up because the previous places that I was working for already had, like, we had worked on building those audiences over the last several years. And so I lost that when I decided to step out on my own.
Mhm.
And so I'm trying to build that back up, which is a slog. It's not fun. Getting people to see our work is hard. It's like we were talking about the fighting the algorithm all the time. It's hard to get people to see your stuff way more so than it was 10 years ago.
True.
And so kind of at that kind of crappy spot there. But Kickstarter's got the ability, like, you have the ability to talk to the people who've backed you before, which is good. If you use BackerKit has a feature called Launch that's really nice that you can use to send to more than like an entire mailing list versus just the people from one specific previous campaign. You can hit them all in one email, which is helpful. But that is a paid service. And then you can run your own mailing list, which is it's
building a mailing list is a skill in itself. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, and it's difficult. It's very difficult to get people to sign up for that. You have to, like, if you believe in your product and you show them your product and they're gonna want that and they're gonna sign up for that, but you gotta show them. Like, it's getting people to see that you have good stuff seems to be the hardest part of this whole thing. Just trying to get people to see.
It's one of those things that where and I funny enough, because I have a crowdfunding program campaign launching next week, so it's currently in the pre-launch stage, and the biggest thing that consistently comes up is the audience, right? Because it's not just a question of people seeing your thing, but it's the person that's seeing it, the right audience. And I found that out, especially when you do Comic Cons, that not being in a Comic Con is not a good way of gauging your audience. Right. But it will tell you who's not in your audience for sure.
Oh yeah.
It'd be like, oh, we don't like sci-fi. We like what do they call it? Rom-coms or something like that.
Yeah.
You find out that you probably should be going to a sci-fi Comic-Con, not a rom-com.
Yep.
So that was
like taking our stuff with the Power Broker stuff to an anime con. It's like, not gonna get as many hits there. Like, there are people there like it, but
yeah, but the benefit is when you go there, you talk to them, you get to see. You get to talk to the person, and the person and what I've learned is that you learn to listen for keywords. At least I'm thinking to IT guy in me, right? I listen to the keywords that the person actually engage with me, what they are saying.
Yep.
And from that perspective, I get to be like, oh wait, how many people are here that actually think the same way? And it's like, wait, I'm in the wrong audience. Like, so audience building, because I always tell people, foot traffic and audience traffic is two different things.
Yes.
You can be in a strip mall and have a bunch of foot traffic, but if you're selling the wrong item, no one's coming to see you. I could think of, like, if you're selling plungers. So that's a good way of talking about the slog that comes with building an audience. And what advice would you give other? All right, here's my next question. So, what obvious advice would you give other indie creators who are looking to launch or grow their own campaign?
Oh, well, be ready for that slog. There's no getting around that. And lean on your fellow creators. We all are together helping each other, and we're more than happy to help you too. But just like be ready to help that when they ask you for help, you need to help them too. Otherwise, they're not going to keep helping you. But
Exactly. So, guys, it comes on to collaborations a lot. Um, Put it this way: there's organic, and I'm talking to the audience right now. There's organic, and then there's paid. Okay, the organic requires a lot of time and effort with your audience, getting to know your audience and getting to know other collaborators that can help you expose you to others. That's a lot of organic work, and it's a lot of work. Paid is expensive, and it's still a lot of work. So it's just a function of scale. So the question really is, I would say do both sides of it, as we're both saying right now, and eventually you'll get to the point where you kind of know what's your process like. Um, you mentioned there are new titles coming soon. Can you tease for the next of you what you guys are working on as a team?
yeah, so we ran Noctiluca, which is a sexy sci-fi.
Oh, sci-fi as well.
Yeah, sci-fi heist adventure. Like it's about a thief, and they're interplanetary thieves, and
Mhm.
the job that we are introduced to in issue 1 is maybe they're gonna be getting in over their heads. So,
Exactly.
and then let's see. Oh, I've got another sci-fi one, another space comic called Granica, which is about a programmer, as it were, goes to yeah, they go to Mars, and they're carrying something that is they're carrying something that isn't what it seems. Let's just put it that way. And then they take a job tutoring some kids, babysitting some kids on the trip to Mars. So they're going to Mars from Earth, and they're paying for their trip by babysitting these kids. And then they meet somebody else who's not what he seems, and hijinks ensue.
Agendas all over the place.
Yes, this one's very it's really cool. Like once you get like again, I know the whole story, so like it's hard to not spoil it. I don't want to spoil it for everybody who might want to read.
I told you, you're just teasing right now. We're just teasing people right now.
Yeah, we can't, like, it's hard because I'd love to just share with everybody, like share the whole story with everybody, right? But yeah, like, so the programmer is carrying a thing that's not what it seems, and then they meet somebody who's not what he seems, and then they go on this trip that's supposed to be mundane, but then it turns out that the trip is not what it seems either. So it's a really good story, and that one is up on Comixology right now. No, Global Comics. It's not Global Comics.
Got it.
And you can go read it there. And then we got sexy space comic. We got some robot stuff coming up. Some like robot cyberpunky stuff.
Oh my god! You know what's funny? It's like everyone's been doing cyberpunk themed stuff recently, to the point that I realized that I had an idea for the same thing, and I was like, "Wait."
Yeah, you should make it happen if you can. Yeah, it's like cyberpunk's the next big thing, right? That was just for us. It was totally like it was not attached to any agenda or anything. It's just Todd actually wrote this one too, and he's like, I got an idea for because I've been working on an anthology, and he's like, I got an idea for your anthology, and then he wrote it, and I read it, and I was like, dude, this is, you can't just put this in an anthology and leave it like this. Come on. So then he developed it into a whole series, and yeah, and then we got some pirate stuff coming up too.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, actually, you brought up a few good stuff. No, pirates, okay, Pirates Caribbean Warrior. Okay, so, so what you did bring up, so a lot of stuff seems to be online as verse. So you start. So is your process more like you post stuff online, like a webtoons or webcomic kind of situation, and then you process it into a book, Is that kind of you guys flow right now, or is it just like some stuff make it there and some stuff don't?
Yeah, we go book first.
Okay, book first.
And then we put the PDF of the book up online. And you can, like, it depends on how, like for Power Broker, for example, we're on issue 6, so you can just go read issue 1 for free. Granica, you cannot, because there's only one issue of it so far.
Exactly.
So but like when we get 3 or 4 issues into that, then you'll be able to read issue 1 for free too. So I'm all for giving you the first book for free when I can.
Okay, got it. And so, guys, it shows you that there's a lot of different avenues, because I know people do crowdfunding and then they get it into publishers, the buildings, so it's in a brick and mortar store after they finish the power stuff. And their concern is like it builds the audience, but it also builds inventory. So it allows them to just push the excess inventory into those places. But then there are people that start online first, and that's an entire beast of itself. For example, I'm a webtoon comic artist, and so when you start on that platform, not only have to build to specifically optimize for that platform, but then when you're trying to move it into the book scene, you have to deal with ad revenue versus actual physical product revenue, assuming you can get through it. So there's a lot of stuff goes into this process, guys. I'm just letting you know, to each their own.
And each, like going web first and then print versus print first and then web, I don't think it matters. You do whatever's most comfortable for you.
Yeah, exactly. Each person's roadmap to success is different.
Yeah.
There's some similarities, but at the end of the day, they're just cousins. They're not.
Yeah, they don't have. Yeah, they're not. It's they both work. It depends on what works for you. Yeah.
Exactly. So in our legacy section, I told you what we're gonna ask, but before I ask you that question, when people finish reading Power Brokers, what do you hope they take away from it?
Oh, well, I hope I would like to think that it would inspire them to write something of their own. But and I hope it leaves people wanting to know the next chapter of the story. And I hope it leaves everybody a little bit mind blown, because especially with issue 6, stuff's gonna happen. Like there's some big stuff happening. Like we were brewing at the end of issue 5, we were brewing up to what was obviously going to be a big old fight, and it started in issue 5. So now you get to see what's going to happen in issue 6.
And also, what would you advise or suggestions you would give to someone that's coming up in the comic book world, maybe their first comic, so they might be a writer, maybe a graphic artist, they could be a girl from a farm. So what would you suggest to that person coming up?
I would, you know what? I'm going to go back to the thing that I said earlier and say, make friends with other creators who've been in the business longer, and just shut up and listen to them. Ask them questions, and if they are willing to spend time teaching you stuff, listen, and don't try and tell them stuff like that. You don't try and pretend like you know better. I've seen that too many times. If you are new and you're talking to somebody who's a 20-year veteran in the industry, listen to them. Yeah, listen to them. And they'll, like, most of us are happy to give you tips and tricks for free. So if you can't find it on the internet, and then just talk to one of us, we're happy to talk to you. And yeah, and then look at other people's comic campaigns, look at other people's comics, see what's popular, and then figure out why. Like, be inquisitive, I guess. Like, be curious. Be curious.
I can take. There's so much stuff. There's so much value that you just dropped there. First of all, guys, you don't have to pay for a course. You can literally just talk to guys who's been in the field for a long time. Because I found out, even through this interviewing series that we're doing, that people are open to just talk and just get to know each other. And it's very valuable to do that, and share and the value just to do that and just get to know people. And so, guys, this is a networking game at the end of the day. People knows. And I can't even say much about that. That in itself needs I'll let that breathe. I'll let that breathe right there. Just get to know other people. I don't care if you go to a Facebook group or you just go outside into a local library to meet these guys. Just get to know.
Yeah. If you go to conventions, like you were saying before, you go to conventions and you talk to those people who are hawking their own comics, they probably got some information for you too.
And
You know,
and they're
just
not
be
gonna hold
curious.
back. They're not gonna hold back. You better take a
No.
notebook. I used to tell people here, get a notebook or something,
Right?
because you
Like,
might be surprised.
how freaking tickled are you? Like when you're doing your table at a Comic Con and somebody comes up and asks you questions about your book and your process, like that makes us so happy. We get so happy when you do that. So you should absolutely do that if you're looking for how to start your own comic. Like ask questions, be curious.
I guarantee you guys, the people that works on Marvel and DC Comics, the bigger comic groups, I guarantee you, they still feel ecstatic when people come up in their characters and talk to them about their process, because it lets them know that they're not working in a silo or in vain.
Yes.
So before we end, lastly, where can people find you online, follow you for updates, and support your current Kickstarter?
Okay, well, you can go to my Kickstarter. It's on Kickstarter, and if you type in Power Broker in the search bar, it'll pop right up. But it's the kickstarter.com/project/definite article /Power Broker 1-6. But like, just go to the Kickstarter search bar and type in Power Broker, and it'll pop up. It's the only active one called Power Broker. And if you want to follow Definite Article, you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Definite Article Creative. You can go to my website at definitearticlecreative.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky at definitearticlecreative.com.
Okay, guys, and I won't say all of it, but a lot of information is in the description. So you guys just check them out and check out their Kickstarter, because let's be honest, we need all the support we can get, and we do appreciate your support. Now, with that said, Sarah, this has been awesome. I've loved how Power Broker takes such a bold approach to superhero power genre, and how diving into, because it doesn't feel like a regular superhero movie. It feels like a
absolutely
completely
not.
different conversation. It's like Superpowers just happens to be a part of it. It could use anything.
Yeah, it's like a capitalism villain story or something. I don't know, but like it just so happens that the thing that they're selling is superpowers.
Yeah.
And like I said, go to the comic, go to the Kickstarter page and click the link. There's an issue, like no strings attached at all. It's just a Google Drive link to the PDF of the first issue. You can read it and decide for yourself.
So to everyone watching, make sure you check out Power Brokers Chapter 6 on Kickstarter, and follow Sarah White and Definite Articles Creative for updates on the next episode. I'm Sean Fuller, creator of Apollo's Run and the host of Behind the Comics, where you meet like minds behind the stories that shapes the future of comics. Until next time, thank you for all you've done. Keep building, keep creating, and see you next time on Behind the Comics. Yay! Okay.